Before we start this video, if there's any sort of haziness going on, I'm really sorry. It really makes me off. What it is they're perfect on my Samsung phone, but the moment I upload them to Facebook, it becomes a little bit hazy. Anyway, I'm going to explain my day today. So if it's a little bit hazy, sorry, but let's continue. I had a great day today. I had a brilliant day today. I went and met Maria Wheatley and we went for a little walk to Silbury Hill. We parked the car and then we walked there and we stand there for a few minutes gazing at the pyramid, and then she took me on this walk. I'll show you what she was showing me with the stones. Where we're standing a little bit later on around those stones, when she starts talking about the long barrow and so forth like that, we're on this kind of map standing here, and then obviously Avebury's over there, and we're on a few. They're saying that the two stones that are in this part of the video are two stones from this walkway, which is not there anymore. This one is almost there. Well, some of the stones are missing, but you can see this walkway. There's Silbury Hill, see? Hey, wow, it's right. Wow. Anyway, so anyway, I had a really great day with her, and she showed me these couple of stones here, and I say we went to Silbury Hill and then we went into Avebury. We went for a pint and Floss came in. Well, we didn't go for a pint actually, we went for a coffee, and then we had a glass of mulled wine, and then we went back to her house and she was showing me the coin, well, the coin ring round her throat and so forth. There was supposed to be a few pictures come from. If it comes through in time, I'll stick a picture of me and Marie Wheatley on the main video. But we had a great time. I really enjoyed it, and she was so sweet that I've got a lovely Christmas present here from Marie Wheatley. Bath salts, hair stuff, skin stuff, and a bottle of wine. So thank you very much, Marie Wheatley, for spending this time with me. Very much appreciated. She's a goddess. She's just beautiful, Marie Wheatley. Anyway, thank you very much for my lovely afternoon. Hey, I've come out today. I'm with Marie Wheatley. She used to walk down to the fence down there. And I'm going to stay with this pyramid because, I mean, if you see Maria, she is tiny, doesn't that? Look at the size of that. Do you get the drift? But when we get closer to it, that thing gets smaller. But unfortunately, it paths under the trees, and once you go past those trees, you lose. I don't know. It's gonna. Oh, just waiting for Floss. Do you see how small Marie Wheatley looked then? She looks tiny, doesn't she? And we've got a little Floss with us today, with her little army coat on. It's starting to get smaller now. When we get to the fence, it'll be smaller. See? You can see Marie Wheatley there. She was lost in the pyramid. I just did a bit of filming of you, and to show you, like, you were a little tiny silhouette with this great big pyramid, and now we're getting closer to the fence. Do you see? The pyramid's got smaller, and Marie Wheatley does not look like a little silhouette.
Which is quite good compared to the last one.
Oh.
There's a step.
Oh wow! They've changed it.
Yeah. So it does show it, and then it was smoothed off after that anyway. So it's now pretty correct.
Just don't call it a pyramid though, do they?
No, because it was smoothed off, and it made...
What do you mean this bit? This bit's missing?
No. What they're trying to show here is it's been partly smoothed off. So it was built like that beneath, and then it was all smoothed off with chalk.
But you don't agree with that?
I think that is highly likely. That
Really?
That was, yes. Because it's there today.
How did the grass get on it?
Because once you've got chalk and you have debris,
There it is.
grass
See,
will
and there's
grow
Marie. Marie Wheatley is big now, and there's the little pyramid. Well, it's a big
and
pyramid.
all chalk has been covered up. So when you go to Stonehenge, the henge is now grass. When you go to Avebury Henge, the henge is now grass. It's because it's 4,500 plus years old, and probably even older than that. So you do get grass growing over chalk. There's also an experimental earthwork on the Downs where they find out exactly, they built a replica of a long barrow in chalk and they kept it there to see how long it would take for the grass to grow, and it takes just 10 years and 30 years just to cover it all up.
Yeah, I do think that. Well, it's a sort of petrification, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
Not quite
Not-
petrification, but that overgrowth will come quite quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But I'm just quite surprised it's over the whole thing.
Of course, because it's chalk. And all the henge.
Right. That makes it a little more like stone there, doesn't it?
And when you go to Avebury, film the henge bank, and that's all grass as well. No chalks blocks survived. Because if you've got erosion, you've got a lot of factors going on to cover it up.
Yeah, me and Marie Wheatley. I've come to meet Marie Wheatley today, and we have to go on this little bit where we come to Silbury Hill because I do love the pyramid, and then we're going to look at some stones.
Yeah, and it's dry. I mean, like I've said before, originally it would have had a moat around it, backed by 81 springs that come up in the winter. And beneath that there is a huge aquifer of really positive emitting yin water. So that's water that's born within Gaia. So it's got a big spiral underground called a geospiral.
How deep is it under there?
What, the aquifer?
How far underground do you reckon that goes?
Its foundation it would go down a substantial way, but not as deep as probably what you think, because it started off as sort of like a round bit at the bottom of earthworks. That was phase 1, and then phase 2 was built, then 3 and 4. It's a composite monument, meaning it's been built in various stages, like Avebury. It's built in various stages, not like all at once. And you can tell.
Do you think your elongated-headed people did that?
This is one of the monuments that I don't think they were associated with, no, because they built elongated shaped monuments, never round. That was the round scroll people that built the round monuments. But there's a possibility that they could have done that.
Hey, look, remnants of new fireworks night there. Yeah, I still can't get over that this used to be a garage right here. A garage.
Yeah, and one just down the road at Beckhampton, and there was a garage at Avebury.
Is that building across there, or is that hills just there?
That's a farm building.
That's farm buildings. I can just see some peaks. I thought, because
That's a farm building.
suddenly your eyes, when you wake, well, I don't know what you call it, being awake, whatever it is, when you do, you see things differently and you're looking differently. And you could go past something every day and not notice it, and then another day you go past and you think, I didn't see that before. A bit like that. It's one of my favourite places here.
Yeah, it's wonderful energy. Like I say, it's got the geospiral, 7-chord geospiral, which is the harmonic surface pattern of very deep yin water, which is very healing. And one thing I've been investigating recently for my next book is that the electrostatic field at the top is much, much greater than at the bottom. And if in the Copper Age, in the Chalcolithic period, around about 2480 BC, or if not before that, you had a copper plate on the top, and you've got the different layers of organic and inorganic material, then they would have released a kind of blue light, according to the engineer that I've been working with. So if Silbury was chalked off white, its electrostatic field would produce a blue haze at night when it released a discharge.
Wow, because I wondered why they'd do all that here, but then years ago there would have been more people here, wouldn't there? You know, like it's out in the middle of nowhere right now. You can't see anybody. It's just fields.
There was a sort of
fields.
Big enclosure just over there called the Palisade enclosure. So what you're seeing today is just that monument, but there was a lot of activity just behind it. like I say, called the Palisade Enclosure. But with that energy, that kind of electrostatic discharge that would be like a blue haze, I think you would have seen Silbury at night from miles away, white with a blue haze all around it. And so I think that's quite a significant design. Silbury would have lit up the night.
Is that because would that help because it's slightly in hills here? I know you said you could see it.
No.
You'd have seen the blue haze, but you wouldn't
No,
necessarily...
because of the electrostatic field associated with Silbury. That's
Right.
what would cause it. And that's what we did. We tested it to see how great the electrostatic field was at the top to the bottom. We've got the statistics. So we checked that against a control area, and that's when we came to the conclusion it would discharge and release blue light, like a blue haze. Not at the sides, only at the top.
Up.
At the top, on the summit.
Wow. I get it, because they've got things that do that, haven't they, that give these lights up?
Yep.
Ah. And where... I asked you before, but where here was the... Because you said there was another pyramid here.
No, there's the one in Marlborough,
Yeah.
and there's another one at what's called Mardenhenge, which is halfway between Avebury and Stonehenge, and that's called Mardenhenge. And inside of Mardenhenge, you had what's called the Hatfield Barrow, and the Hatfield Barrow was another very large mound, possibly just a little bit smaller than Merlin's Mount in Marlborough. So there was 3 massive mounds. Then you had another large mound called the Enford Mound, which is associated more with Stonehenge. So you do have some other large mounds, but nothing like Silbury Hill. 130 feet high, about 30 metres high. Extraordinary.
I just still find it really strange that the car, which is only there, it's enormous, and here it's there. Don't you think that's weird?
But when you get up close, it's even more enormous. I mean, you're looking at it from a perspective now of a hole.
Oh yeah, I've walked round. I've been on that loads of times. Not now.
It's causing erosion. People that walk up the Silbury now are just causing damage to an ancient monument, because see that path there, what will happen, because it's chalk beneath it, if people keep walking up and down there, the rainwater fills up, in the winter it becomes ice, it expands the path, and then it breaks up the monument. So I get sad when people
we're talking about...
Yeah, in the 80s I went up with it.
Like 2000, we're talking along before they noticed...
Now we need to respect the monument, because otherwise...
And also, I don't think digging in it helped it. I know that it was good to go in it, and John Carey knows it's a pyramid, but I don't think any of that was good to it. It probably it's helping it collapse.
Well, they needed to infill it into the year 2000. They had to infill it, because otherwise it would have collapsed. And they needed to go into Atkinson's original 1960s, 70s doorway into there that he created as an excavation to infill it. So they did it, maybe not as good as the ancestors, obviously, but if they hadn't have done that, I think you'd have seen a part collapse at the top. It is sad, you know, that it was the whole, and that was all down to a very greedy man that wanted to just, you know, see if he could find gold on the inside in the 18th century. There's a legend that King Sil was on a golden horse inside. So he dug a shaft down from the top, and obviously there was no horse, no gold horse, and that's what caused the hole to open up in the year 2000.
1 minute, sorry. We're walking backwards, and the pyramid's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's crazy, that. It's bigger. Here it's getting bigger. We're only so many feet, you know, steps away from the car. So it's not very far, you know. It's only so many feet. Now it is. It's getting bigger. I just think that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm going backwards. As long as I don't fall over. Look at that. It's one of my favourite places, Silbury Hill. I love you, Silbury Hill. I do. I love that place. Anyway, amazing. So, where are we now, Maria?
Well, we're at the Beckhampton Avenue, or the remnants of the Beckhampton Avenue, because in 1724 William Stukely recorded that there's a big avenue going all the way to Avebury Henge, and that's one of the avenue stones there. This stone here, which I'm stood by,
Yeah, it's enormous.
60 tons or probably more. It was part of a cove feature which would have had some other stones around it, creating a bit like a horseshoe enclosure, which were faced to the southeast, which is the midwinter sunrise. But it is huge. In 1911 it fell down, and Maud Cunnington in 1912 re-erected it. So this is one of the few stones that a woman put up, because normally it was Alexander Keeler. So it's absolutely beautiful.
How did she do that then?
With cranes, with a lot of cranes. And just over there I filmed, and I'll send you the photograph, energy coming out of the ground of a vortex.
Really?
It's a really astonishing photograph. And we're on a current of female earth energy that's coming from Windmill Hill over there, where you can see a small round barrow. If you stand where I am, that's Windmill Hill.
Okay.
That predates Avebury by 1,000 years. It's called a causeway.
Oh yeah, on top of the hill.
Yeah, that's Windmill Hill.
One second, let me see if I can zoom in, because it's on top of that hill. So it's
Windmill Hill Causewayed Enclosure.
that thing there under my finger.
Which is a Neolithic monument. That's a Bronze Age round barrow that came much later.
And then that way, those stones went into Avebury that way.
Yeah, it was an avenue that would come out at Avebury. But this stone here is sited very close to the female earth current that flows from Windmill Hill down towards here, and we're also on a very long ley line called the St Michael Ley that goes all the way through Glastonbury, through places in Cornwall to hit Hopton on the Norfolk coast. And Avebury Henge is sited at the exact centre of the St Michael Ley. So where we're stood now is very close to the ley, and the female earth current comes in this way, and there's a vortex just over there which you might see as a greener patch of grass if you look quite carefully. There's a kind of greener patch, so to speak. So we've got a lot of activity here. There used to be another enclosure around this area, and another long barrow just over there called South Street Long Barrow.
Oh, what happened to that one then?
Well, it's gone now. It got ploughed out, but it used to be there.
And then when we were driving, I just don't want to. My ankle's not quite right. I've got to get down here. Do excuse me. I'm an old woman now. And then over there's another long barrow.
Yes, that's the Beckhampton.
We can't see it, but it's in
the Longstones Long Barrows, its official name.
Yeah, we just saw it in the car when we were driving here, but
and it got partly excavated
She's
in
eating
the
grass.
1700s. So it's been partly excavated, and they found a really nice beaker pot, which was probably a secondary interment there. But it's got quite a bit of energy, and this area is really packed with monuments. But like I said, Windmill Hill is the oldest monument. It predates Avebury Stone Circles.
Wow.
About 1,000 years.
You know, last time I came, I said strawberry, but I meant windmill.
Okay.
You went, what?
Okay.
But I meant that one up there. But when you look at pictures, you can see it. You can see all the pictures. It doesn't sort of say, oh, that's A, B, and C. But I meant windmill.
Yeah. I mean, it is extraordinary because it's a monument with 3 circuits, and it's got a ditch and a bank and a gap, a ditch and a bank and a gap. That's a causeway because it's got causeways coming in. And what I discovered from my book, Avebury Sun, Moon and Earth Energies, is that's one of the oldest solar calendars in this ceremonial landscape, because I discovered at particular times of the year, in between the causeway gaps, the sun would rise and fill that gap. So it's a massive solar calendar, and it would have been especially spectacular at the entrance to the causeway, which is at the autumn equinox, where the sun shone through the entrance at the equinox. It would have been quite extraordinary.
We've got to stop filming, sorry, I was about to cut in, it's 5 minutes, but that is brilliant, thank you, Maria.
Well,
this is a little collection of Marie Wheatley's swords. They're all reproduction, but she collects swords. Look at them all. Wow. Anyway, it was great to see them, and she has loads of crystals in her house. Anyway, let's move on. Maria, she's wearing something around her throat that she's very excited about. That
is a mid-Bronze Age, pre-coinage money ring. And to the ancient people of the Avebury and Stonehenge landscapes, this is what was one of their currencies. It was literally like a coin, and it would represent wealth. And I've got one around my neck. It's dated to about 1750 BC.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Mira. I didn't know they had things like that. Obviously coins, but I didn't realise they had money rings.
Yeah, pre-coinage this is called.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. Anyway, you're some kind of goddess, aren't you? With that beautiful blonde hair. Yeah, thanks for that. That's very. I've never heard of those before.
No, they're not that well known, I suppose.
You could see that and think it's a piece of rubbish, not that it's some piece of history.
I know, yeah. They look like washers.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that.